Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we're here to talk about unusual options activity. Alright, disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this programming are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Okay, so first one I want to bring up is FIS. If you take a look here at these February 2022 calls here, there was some nice call buying, 11,000 contracts traded, open interest of about 1,280. I like that volume to open interest ratio. I like that these people are giving themselves a little bit of some time here. I like that they're buying these far out of the money calls here because they expect the stock to be at or at least 125 on expiration. Obviously, you know, if the stock makes a nice move within the next week or two, we would have a nice gain in these along with the people that were buying these calls. But they are expecting a nice sizable move here because they're buying these far out of the money calls here. They're buying the 125 strike call with the stock around 110. Now, this is a pretty cheap stock here, especially because of the nasty decline this thing has had. It kind of bounced at this 100 level here, which is it did bounce at the 100 level, which is kind of the pre-pandemic low, which is pretty nuts, honestly, to see a stock all the way down here. Now, this is obviously not my favorite looking chart here, but this is a cheap stock here. They're consistently beating the earnings estimate. You can see the earnings here. You can calculate the earnings per share. It's a pretty cheap stock. They generate a lot of revenue, a lot of EBITDA, and it's also cheap on those metrics as well. So with this big money stepping in here, I thought it was a good time to step in. And, you know, hopefully this thing plows through the 50-day moving average and we can make it up to this 125 level. We will see what happens, everyone. All right, next one I want to bring up is ORCL. Now, this stock has had a nasty decline here as well, almost to the 200-day moving average, which it hasn't been to kind of middle of 2019, which is pretty surprising here. They had a great earnings report. The stock gapped up, made a new 52-week high. And the stock has now pulled back to this support level here before the earnings report. The breakout before the earnings report, which is always a good support level here. ORCL announced an acquisition here, so that is why the stock has been pulling back. I've not looked a whole lot into the acquisition here, but technically I just like the setup here. It's pretty much at before it's at the level it was at before they reported the last earnings report. If you take a look here at these December 31st options here, they're coming in and buying weekly calls that expire tomorrow. A lot of contracts trade here, 7,600 contracts trade here. There's some of these some action, some of these other months, some of these other strikes here. I decided to give myself a little bit more time here. I went into some January 2022 out of the money calls here. If we take a look at the stock chart, which we just did, I like where the stock is at technically. It's approaching the 200-day moving average. That would also be another good entry. But, you know, I think we can hold this support level where we were bouncing around before, around this 87 level. We're pretty much at 87 here. And I think this is a good entry on this stock. Blowout earnings report that they just reported. You can see the huge gap up here. A lot of analysts had a lot of good things to say. Looked over the report, liked what I saw. So, where are these calls, everyone? And we'll see what happens. Make sure to follow me over on Twitter at OptionGuru100. I also talk about some more trades over there. I brought up another one today. If you guys want to see that trade, check me out on Twitter at OptionGuru100. Shoot me a follow over there. Thanks for everyone who's been sticking with the YouTube videos and subscribing. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.